Ladies and gentlemen, I am lucky enough to be able to bring you some breaking Diablo news. That's right, this is brand new news as of right now. So here's something that we did not know before. There's an armory coming to the game. That's right, your loadouts for both your PvE and PvP can now be set in many different loadouts you can go through for your different builds. This includes your normal items, your set items, your skills, and your Paragon setup. So that is going to be a pretty nice addition to the game. Speaking of Paragon setup, you can now refund your Paragon. So if you make a mistake with your Paragon levels, you can now go back to try something different, for instance, with your skill tree, etc. Pretty nice, you'll be able to change that. There's also a new Paragon tree itself at the highest level that is going to give you benefits based upon your party as well, including one that is going to give you more crit chance depending upon how many variety of classes are in your party. So this is going to be very important to make sure, once again, you have that diversity in your party when it comes to playing with your friends. There's also some changes to the way the PvP system works in this game. First and foremost, the Dark Clans, or the people who basically are not Immortals, are getting a new PvP activity that was not there before, that will be there for launch. This is a battle that allows the Dark Clans to try to become one of the top 10 Dark Clans, and there is rewards for accomplishing this. So there is a whole subsection of people who are not the Immortals that now get a new activity and sort of leaderboard in which they can participate amongst themselves. I like this change personally. This allows more of, I would say, the free-to-play and low-spender type of groups of categories for this mobile game to give themselves, one, more rewards, as well as have another way to fight. However, there's a caveat to this. Becoming the Immortal is going to take a little bit longer now. There's some changes to the numbers and the way the system works in the game, that effectively the Immortals are going to be able to hold their reign for about 50% longer than the previous beta. So that means we should be expecting 6 to 8 week reigns on average for, the stronger Immortal clans, essentially. What's really interesting is the Immortal, or the strongest person, basically the leader of the clan is the actual way to put it, becomes something called the Immortal himself or herself, which is a giant actual controlled boss that you have to fight in a 30v1 on, while the Dark Clans, or the Shadow Clan that's really fighting the Immortals, have to fight up to 90 other players, basically. There's a 30v1 fighting the boss, there's 30 fighting over here to get buffs against AI, and there's 30 over here fighting to get buffs as well, and this is one of the such battles that the Shadow are going to participate in. It's a pretty cool system. I actually can't wait to see the way it is actually implemented and it works in the game. A little bit of clan information for you. Clans, we now know for a fact, are going to be capped at 100 players. That was a question that we were wondering all before, but it is 100 players for sure to inform you guys about. Customization in this game on launch is going to be locked, meaning there's a lot of customization you can actually do. There's a ton of changes. You can make the guy just like you want, but once you've made it, you're not going to be able to change it until they add an update that will allow you to later. So just a heads up. So don't mess up your hero when you make them. And when you make your hero, you're going to need to have that hero sync to Battle.net. Because if it's not synced to Battle.net, it's not going to work on your crossplay. When you go on your PC, you're going to make a different account than the one that's going to be on your phone. And if you have Android and iPhone and you want to play on both, or like a tablet that's Android and a phone that's iPhone, for instance, Battle.net is also how you sync it. So just a heads up, if you use other methods, that's not going to be crossplay. Use the Battle.net Connect method. There's a nice buff for the people who like to grind in this game. That buff is going to be that item salvage can now be converted basically to other materials. So when you're grinding you're way past the Paragon level and you're just grinding item salvage after item salvage to improve your gear, you can now take and convert that item salvage, not at 1-to-1 rate, but at a different rate, to other types of materials, meaning both free-to-play and whales who just play the game a lot. It doesn't matter how much money you spend. If you play the game a lot, you're now going to get rewarded more so than you did at the beta. Another nice buff, the rare crests are going to be becoming better than they were in the beta. Those are the ones that are a little bit more achievable to get. The legendary quests are the harder ones, so the ones that you can actually acquire at a decent rate, those ones are factually going to be better once the game launches. So that's basically just a buff to free rewards. In particular, of all of these, I think I like the Armory change the most. Being able to quickly swap between my PvE and PvP setups is going to be a crucial part of this game. Just knowing how the PvP is going to work, and now knowing that PvP is going to be an even more important part of the game itself, which is pretty important. Okay, so knowing that the Dark Clans now have top 10 they can fight in, so even if you're not an Immortal, there's like a leaderboard in PvP that actually matters with rewards for that. Challenge rifts are now going to 200. That's another really big piece of news. That's amazing. I like that. That means there's even more content to do. The fact that we're getting new content before the game's even out, I like. It's a thumbs up for me. Let me know what you guys think about the updates down below. I'm sure most people are going to be happy about the rare Crest buff. Love y'all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in game.